Hi guys, Blake here today with Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Thursday, June the 17th. I've got my friend Anthony here with me today, and we are going to do the one cast for you. So that's about, I don't know, maybe 7:30 in the evening again, 7:37. They have been running 4 units for probably the last 6 hours or so. They just cut it back. The dropout hasn't quite reached fully down here where we're at. We're starting right below Lookout Island on the bluff. We are going to work the bluff down today. Anthony wanted to try his hand at the 110+1s, so that's what we're going to be throwing. We both are throwing the 110+1 Rainbow Signature Series lure, and we're just going to work our way down the bluff. Hey, look, a little raccoon right there. See him? Yep. He's just a little baby. Let's see. So I've been off work all day. I have no idea about any fishing reports from today. I know Phil is out fishing with some friends right now. I think they were dragging scuds. I didn't stop and talk to them to see how they were doing yet, though. I talked to another group of guys that were fishing down by Short Creek on our way up here. They said that they had been throwing jigs with no luck whatsoever. Sorry, we're going to be stuck in this eddy for a second. Hello? Yes. All right, I'll talk to you later. Yep. Bye. All right. Anyway, so they said that they hadn't had any luck with the jigs today so far. I know that Dwayne and Mike Riffle and Brad Reed and a whole bunch of guys went out night fishing last night. They took Captain Billy with them and inducted him into the dark side, and they said that well, they did the same 4-unit thing yesterday for 4 or 5 hours, and then they dropped it to 3 units. Oh, there's a fish. What I can say though is, you know, now that they're starting to drop bull shoals in the other lakes, they're going to be pushing that 4 units for a certain period of time each day, and the fish do not like going from 1 unit at night to 4 units the next day, so probably for a while they're going to be a little grumpy. I got it. Here in a second, the boat will start drifting straight once we get out of this eddy pocket. So during the period while they have those 4 units on each day, the bite's probably going to be a little slower. But that is one thing about these 110+1s. You can get out here when the 4 units are running. They dive 7 to 9 feet. And you still probably won't find a lot of fish, but those aggressive fish that are still looking to feed will probably still take this bait. And I know that the brown trout still will feed on these whenever the water's running 4 units. Was that my first cast or my second cast? I can't remember. Second cast? Okay. So nothing officially on the first cast today. Here's a little guy that I would call super aggressive, because he took a bait that was about half as long as he is. Anyway, they said that even though the 3 units were running last night, they were able to get in there on the south bank where the water moves slower up there by the dam, and they said they still had a really good bite up till about 10:30 or so. I think they decided to call it. They did wind up slowing the water down to 1 unit last night, but I don't think it was until later. Now that this water is dropping out, these fish should get a little more excited for eating. But anytime they're changing the water like that in a day, it just really kind of messes up the fish's pattern. I know I've explained this a few times before, but we're using 8-pound, and this is P-line. We do not sell P-line in the shop, but you can get it at Bass Pro and online and everywhere else. I use 8-pound or 6-pound tests whenever I throw these bigger jerk baits. I've got a size 12 snap swivel on the front of that. Kind of helps give it a little more freer motion. It also adds just a touch of weight to the front of the bait, balances it out a little bit. Whenever Dwayne designed these, he put the split rings and hooks in a weight and fashion that with the snap swivel added, that they suspend pretty level. And we are casting these as close to the bank as you can get. I find that those bigger fish are usually sitting somewhere right against that bank on those drop-offs, and so you want to get it in there as close as you can. If you're not hitting the bank every once in a while, you're probably not getting close enough. And we are not reeling these back in. We are leaving slack on the water, and you're popping that slack 2, 3, 4 times. You want to get a good 5 to 7 times initially off the bank, just in case that big fish is laying right there. And then 3 to 5 in between. If you're looking to target just any fish, leaving a 1 to 2 second pause in between those 3 or 4 or 5 pops is better. The rainbows like the pauses better. If you're specifically trying to target a brown trout, I suggest that you keep it moving pretty much the whole time. They like their bait moving away from them. If you're doing this properly, it should be quite the arm workout. You should feel the burn after 10 or 15 minutes. But we're basically causing that bait to walk back and forth through the water in a real sporadic motion. And that kind of triggers that instinct in them to come and get it. I will say Tuesday night out here was an awesome night. We got me Levi, Charlie, and Dwayne had a friend on his boat. We came up here, and about the time we got up here around, well, let's say 8:45-ish, we got up to the dam and they had shut the water completely off. And so we worked our way back out from up there pretty quickly, because you don't want to get stuck in the dark with no water running up there at the dam. Pretty sketchy. But anyway, we worked our way down here to below Lookout, and the fishing was really good. We caught 6 rainbows that were over 20 inches. We had 2 23-inchers, 2 21 3/4, and 2 that were like 20 and a half in about a 4-hour period, and lots of other fish. I think Dwayne and his friend caught 2 over 20 that night in the same period of time. So they were really biting it with the water off. You just had to use a long pause. It gets dark a little bit after 9, so we're kind of in the ideal time for doing this right now. The last 2 hours of the evening and the first hour of the morning are usually the best time to be out here throwing these baits. And I like throwing these when the water's running faster. You don't have to work them quite as fast. But you can still use these on the bluffs and in the deeper spots when the water's barely running or off. You just really, really have to work it fast. It's a lot of work whenever the water's not moving very fast. So that's usually when I'd go to a smaller model. Got really hot here today. I think the heat index was like at 100. And I think they're calling for a heat advisory tomorrow. This is the one annoying part about working these down the bluff. That bluff will keep sucking you in, so you gotta keep moving your boat out. Mm-hmm. Now once the bluff straightens out that direction, it'll kind of hold in the same position, but in this bend right here, you'll keep getting sucked in towards the bluff.
Yeah, I thought it was just me.
last night I went to Bull Shoals with my friend, and we started the evening off with topwater baits. We fished kind of at the mouth of Swan Creek for a little bit with nothing biting, and then we went up to the dam on the west side over there, where a road should be. It's all flooded right now with trees and all kinds of stuff, and we fished in those trees and we started finding pockets of shad, and anytime we'd see the shad busting the surface, we'd throw our topwater baits over those, and we got into a few decent sized bass, a few 3-pounders and a 5-pounder. We were using, I think the name of the bait's an El Chapo. It's a real big topwater bait with a blade on the back, or a plastic kind of deal. Makes a bunch of noise. The most exciting catch of last night, though, was a 4-foot gar on the El Chapo. I was running it through some trees and I saw this big wake behind the bait, and it took it, and I felt it shaking its head, and I was thinking I had the next world record bass on, and it turned out to be about a 4-foot gar. And that was a first for me. I did not know that a gar would come up and take a topwater bait. So I found out last night that they will. I'm really hoping the camera's working tonight. We're not quite sure what happened last night, but ooh, there was a hit. Yeah, that's kind of one of the exciting parts about jerkbait fishing. You see them chasing that thing back to the boat. Sometimes you don't get to set the hook on them, but it's still a lot of fun to see them chase it. Do what? And we are getting close to the Narrows, and I think I'm going to call the video once we get there. But this last little stretch before the Narrows has been known to produce some pretty big fish. It's actually one of the spots we were fishing on Tuesday night. Only caught a few of those 23 inchers. Well, we've just about made it to the Narrows, so I think we're going to sign off for the day. Did get to see what one aggressive fish looked like. Of course, I'd get a bite when I'm trying to end the video. But we thank you guys for watching today. Like and share us on Facebook, and we will be out here again to do it again for you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.